All right, take two. This is our second time. So
Yes.
like we did mic check like a minute ago, and we were both kind of like, okay, just like our normal voices. I mean, I'm loud, but then I'm like, our showman voices are like
Got really loud.
this, like, hey everybody, and it's like red. I was like, okay, we got to start over. So
Take two. So I just found out.
the 25th Sunday in Ordinary Time.
Yeah, and I just found out that the ladies at Let's Hang Out, they all were talking about, well, when does the podcast go up?
Right?
I was like, oh.
A couple people yesterday.
At least we know we have like 5 people.
Sent me text messages and different things, and they were like, where is it? and then they're mad at me too because I made a walk around the church at the end of last week, so I kind of was like, all right, maybe I'll make it at the end of the week, you know, because then it's it's a bit more consistent because I hadn't done it in a few weeks, so I did one, but it was like I released it I actually filmed it last Monday, but then released it on Friday.
I know, I like it. He didn't wear that.
Because I was looking at because we're starting to schedule our posts a lot better, for different things. And no one wants a media dump. That's the worst. When it's like you open Facebook or Instagram and it's like St. Jude Live has posted and it's like
20 things.
And it's annoying.
Sure.
Like, I personally can't stand it when that happens. Or if I'm following, a church or a speaker or something in multiple places and then they post everything to one so I'm trying not to do that, right? That's the worst. So so I was like, we'll do it on Friday, but now they still expect it earlier in the week, so I have to get on it because I keep getting, where is it? I'm like, it blows my mind that people watch. That's what, to be humble for a second, I'm just seriously, I'll be like, oh, yeah, sure. I love it when people come up to me now, though, because at first it was like, oh, I love you guys on the podcast, but now I think it's funny because people will come up and actually, quote us.
Oh, goodness.
They'll be like, oh, I loved it when you said this. And I'll be like, I got to watch what I say.
Whoops.
But no, I love people. People really love you on the podcast. I like a lot of times, oh my gosh, Sarah was so great. I'm like, isn't she though? She really is.
Super fun. I love doing this.
It really is fun.
It actually is rough. I enjoyed doing it the couple times when you were gone, but it's weird not having you and I.
We've gotten a good rhythm, I feel like. So anyway, shout out to us.
Yeah.
Pat on the back. Here we go.
Our own radio show.
Should we actually
read the podcast?
Dive into this here?
Read the bulletin.
Yeah, read the bulletin. So the bulletin's going to be looking a little bit different. The front cover's more or less the same. So we got to do, I guess, our front cover reflection. So diocesan. So this week is pretty chill. It's kind of the fall change of seasons. It's a nice little. I love nature shots. Which is weird because it's like your most basic art.
You know what? You know what else comes with fall?
What?
Father Luke's birthday.
Absolutely.
It's this Sunday.
Woohoo! Happy birthday, Father Luke. I don't know why my voice got really high there, but okay. Happy birthday, Father Luke. So you can check that out. The Psalm actually was super impactful for me as we did our weekly Bible study, getting ready for the weekend. The Lord upholds my life. And what's interesting is when you dive into the readings, at first I was like, oh, another nature picture. Okay. But actually there is something about it because when you read the first reading, it's all about from wisdom, and it's about people looking at Jesus later. It's like a prophecy, but just let us basically test the just one. Let's get rid of him. And if he is of God, well, God will protect him. And it's just dark. And then the second reading really talks about, where the bad things within us kind of come from. And then what's so hilarious is the gospel, Jesus says to the disciples, what were you arguing about when we were on the road? And the disciples don't answer him because they're embarrassed because they had been discussing amongst themselves which one of them was the greatest. And I can only imagine the eye roll from Jesus. Just not to bring up The Chosen, but in the latest season, when this moment happens in The Chosen, Jesus gets so mad, and it's awesome. He's like, you're not, no, that's not it.
None of you get it.
You just don't get it. It's so great. So anyway, shout out to The Chosen, Jonathan Rumi. Great performance. But yeah, so that's all there. But that psalm, though, really becomes kind of the cornerstone for all of the readings. The Lord upholds my life. It is Jesus is the one who is with you. Maybe circumstances are awful, but his presence is enough. That's the idea. So take a look at that, pray with that. But we no longer, because we're going to be using a short format.
Yeah.
So for the bulletin for the foreseeable future. So our contact information is not on the first page.
You know what might be an idea is to like put a little like contact sheet in the like at the welcome desk here at the church.
That's a great
so
idea.
if you didn't print it out from one of the past bulletins or save it, it is online. All of our contact information is on the website. But maybe we just print out little sheets and keep them over here on the side.
I mean, we could
so
also
that way they don't have to grab 20
know,
cards from the front desk either.
I was gonna say we could put out our business cards too. We could do both that way. So we'll have it all over the place. We're not trying to hide from you. We've been working on too, like, having, our new, like when we got the Google numbers for each of us, we didn't have the phone system that we have right now. We haven't had an official meeting or anything about it. Father Ross and I were kind of toying with the idea because you can actually, have the office phone forward any phone calls to your cell phone. Yeah. So like if we were to go that route, our Google numbers would become obsolete because we could just make our office phones.
But if you call my office phone number and it leaves a voicemail,
we'll get that on
email,
our phones.
So,
and our emails. So that right now we kind of have a duo system, and I think we're going to be probably talking about that soon, how to simplify it for us so we don't have messages coming at us from everywhere. But we don't mind the communication. We love that you guys are reaching out to us, to tell us that you watch the podcast, to give us feedback and suggestions. Make sure you take a look at the altar this week. We have a new committee for altar decorations. Yeah, it's huge. It's massive. No, it's
one person.
Yeah, one
and
person.
Father Ross.
And Father Ross. And I think they did a great job. Like I came in yesterday briefly, and the altar is it's just very bright and lively. Like, and when the trees turn colors across the street at Scott Park, it's going to blend right in. Like, I'm super stoked. Like, it's going to be cool. Anyway,
it'll be fun.
So there's all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's arranged a little bit differently. Just a reminder, the Mass schedule is up and running with Mass at 9:15 over at St. Andrew Church. So check that out. We also have a little bit more of the financial giving information from San Esteban. So
and remember that too. That if you we're talking about this with them over at St. Stephen's. A couple of them have been questioning how to get masses, but we do have the noon mass, the 6:30 here on Thursday nights. So we have a lot of masses to have. That are available for you to have, a loved one prayed for. So
mass intention. It doesn't have to be someone who is deceased. Wow. Of course, you can have a memory said a mass said in memory of someone, but you can have it said in honor of someone as well. So feel free to there's a form on the website, but if you do that, the process basically looks like we get the email with your mass intention request, and then we look at the calendar. And then if it's not available, then we call you to be like, hey, it's not available. Here's the dates that are available. So probably the easiest way is just to go the old-fashioned route and just either come into the office, see Sara or I, or just give us a call, and we can put it in there, and then you can, give us the $10 donation later. That's fine too. So
we have you and I have masses coming up this
week.
We
do
in honor of ourselves. We didn't get for ourselves this time.
I almost put it in Spanish. My name, Timoteo. I was like, I don't want people to be until that nickname. Erica calls me that. She's kind of like going back and forth between Timothy or Tim or Timoteo.
Yeah.
So
and if you know,
Timoteo. I'm not gonna
Timothy.
Timothy. If you know, you know. We'll leave it at that. I showed that video to Christina over at the school. The Michael Keegan Peel. Yeah. Video. It's substitute teacher. It's full of vulgarity, but it's hilarious.
It's funny.
So, if you know, you know. Anyhow.
Events.
This is also different. This is a little bit different. Usually we have a family little reflection here. We're not going to be having that for now because when we started that, it's been good, but we have a full children's bulletin now, which is super popular, and we'll get to that in a second. But yes, events. So, of course, you can hear about all this stuff at the Church Bulletin Podcast. Show it to your friends, all that good stuff. Share us on social media. We'll just throw that shout out right now. But yeah, a lot of stuff coming up. We've got the liturgical wisdom of Yo-Yo Ma, which is a very famous cellist. Which our very own Michael DeSanctis will be presenting that on Monday. So on September 23rd, you can come to the Parish Center, which is on the end of the school, and go check out that really cool presentation. Michael.
Lots of stuff over in the parish center because the
Yes.
next day, Tuesday, Faith Formation
look at that.
starts with a family event. We're super excited to welcome back families. You're going to get, it's going to be a parent meeting / activity /
Is
a
this
little
like a
bit of
thing?
catechesis.
So if I'm like a parent and I'm just like, oh, it's a family event, it's not like official class, can I skip? What's the answer?
No.
No, of course
No.
not. Of course not.
No, you want to meet everybody who's going to be in
Coming.
charge of all of your, of your kids,
Yeah.
learning this year.
Absolutely.
And work with us and, in activities and we're going to have a little bit of catechesis that night too, because this year's full of us going on a cruise through our sacraments around the world to study different cultures and to see where all the saints are from. So
and our
we have lots of
flag
fun stuff.
for the ship that we will be traveling upon.
Yes.
Imaginatively.
No half saints.
No half saints. That is our catchphrase for the year and hopefully beyond, because it's a genius idea. And the idea being you can't be sort of a saint.
Yeah. You either are or you aren't.
That's it. So, and there's a lot of grace for those who aren't like me. So we can become saints. That's the idea. And I think that people sometimes, myself included, hey, I got a thumbs up, forget that, like, I won't get long with this, but like this happened just yesterday. We were pulling up to school. I was dropping Amia off. And she looked over and she saw all the cars for daily mass and fellowship, which was so good, by the way. And she said, wow, you have a lot of customers today. And I was like, oh, I guess you could call them that. I don't know. And she was like, and then she goes, hey, can I have this like Barbie thing that she wanted? And I said, well, we get paid in a couple days, maybe. I'll talk to your mom about it because she's been awesome. And I was like, yeah, maybe. But she just had a birthday. So I'm like, you kind of have a lot of stuff. You're good right now, but whatever. And she goes, wait, you work for the church. She goes, do the customers give you money? And I said, kind of. Yeah, they donated to the church. And she goes, why? Ooh. And I went, oh, this just got deep. Now we have like 25 seconds before she has to get out of the car. And I say, well, people give money to the church because they're helping us with that money to tell people about Jesus. So people come to church to learn about Jesus, to receive Jesus, and then we go out and we tell people about Jesus. And she goes, so the church exists to tell people about Jesus. And I said, yeah. And then this hurt. She goes, well, then the church better do a better job because I had no idea. And I was like, wow. I mean, it was so harsh.
You've worked in the church your whole life, too.
I know. I'm just like, I've never told you that. Oh, so you're here to learn about Jesus and reveal Jesus to other people. We receive Jesus to give Jesus. That's what we do. So come to that event. Like, I really want to encourage you, all the kidding aside, like, think about it. Like, your kids might not know why you bring them to church every Sunday. Or maybe you don't come to church every Sunday because you're like, why should I go to church every Sunday? Come to this event so that we can assist you and equip you to catechize your kids, because as a parent,
the first teachers.
You are the primary catechist of your kids. So we'd love to help. Like we love evangelizing and forming young disciples. That's great. We love that. And we'd love to walk with you, but you have to come. That's the main thing. So please come to that event. Don't skip it. Come if you can. If you can only come to part of it, come to part of it. Just be there. We would love to see you.
Yeah. So everything else happens like it usually does on Wednesday and Thursday. But next Saturday,
although Thursday, let's highlight this real quick because we don't talk about it very much.
What?
Over at St. Andrews.
Oh, then
at the St. Andrew Church, there's a rosary every Thursday at 7:10. So we've got Misa en Español, Mass in Spanish, over in the chapel here at 6:30. And so then if you come to that, head on over to St. Andrews, because we've got the rosary going on over there. Yeah. So be sure to check that out. And of course, let's hang out, like you said. Keep it going then. What's on Saturday?
Saturday is bingo at St. Stephen's. We don't have the place here. So I wanted to make sure. And it's not 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's a really long day.
Oops, that would be
there was some typos.
Hey, you know what? Bingo. We could do it. No, it's 6 p.m.
6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Next Saturday, the 29th or 28th. So, if you are, ready to put on your bingo shoes and get on, dude. I don't know.
I would hope you just like relaxed. Take your shoes off to play bingo.
Oh.
It's not dancing.
Yeah, but you don't want to take your shoes off.
Yeah, nobody wants to. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay.
No.
All right.
Moving on to St. Jude School.
Yes, please. Look around, spread the word. If you know anybody, we have a wonderful kind of, I don't want to call her a stand-in, but sort of like an interim science teacher. She's been helping out, and she's great. But so the church is looking for a part-time to kind of maybe work with her, the lady who has been helping out, or to go full-time, a science teacher for middle school. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, or you know somebody, feel free to reach out to them. Give our principal, Mrs. Holly Morphy, the information, or give them her information so that they can reach out to her. We'd appreciate it. Also, this is exciting. We are going to be inundated.
Because it's the feast of St. Francis.
It is. It's coming
in the beginning of October.
St. Francis of Assisi.
Yes.
And the pet blessing. That's what we're referring to. So we're going to have it twice.
Twice, yep.
2 times.
After 4:30 and then after 10:30, bring your animal to the church and get a special blessing. And
the medals right here.
Yeah, and we have special medals for the dog, for the tags, if you have that, or just want to take a medal home, or we'll get some prayer cards here. So lots
really
of
cool.
fun stuff.
Yeah. So we got this. I mean, you can't see it obviously, but it's got a St. Francis, please protect my pet. It's got a dog and a cat at the feet of St. Francis. So that's actually pretty neat.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Fun. And don't forget to mark your calendars for the pasta dinner. We will have a sign up to volunteer on Flocknote starting next week.
Absolutely. And we'll probably have a paper thing lying around. Maybe we put that on the wall.
With a QR code.
Yeah, so why don't we'll do that. We'll put contact info, but also a sign-up thing eventually will be over at the welcome desk in the back of church.
Yeah.
So you can check that out. So that'll be good. Just want to also shout out, we had a baptism again. We've had so many baptisms this summer.
Dual baptism was more twins.
Gosh, that's exciting.
That's a third set of twins.
That's amazing. All in one summer. And of course, Father Luke, who we already mentioned, his birthday's coming up. Did we mention it? Or was that in the first take? Whatever. Father Luke's birthday's on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So he's a twin. So we're just all about twins here. I root for the Minnesota Twins. Woot woot. See? Twins. Gotta love it.
Yes.
I always gotta slip Minnesota in there somewhere.
And we have 2 funerals that we're celebrating this week. They're celebrating their lives of Mary Strenio and Kathleen. How do you pronounce it?
It's like McCafferty. I want to say McCaffrey, but that's a football thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sorry if we butchered
that. But no, I have the privilege and joy of helping to plan these services, and obviously every funeral is tough, but these families, just the love that they have for each other and for Mary and Kathleen, please keep them in your prayers. It's like I said, everyone is hard to do, but every once in a while you encounter people that just, there's so much love. I don't know who said it. I've heard it said a few different places originally, or I don't know who said it originally, but grief is unexpressed love. It's the love we never got to express. So it comes out that way. So, keep them in your prayers. Thank you. This week it's
we're going to learn a little bit with our Hispanic heritage for Mexico.
Yes.
So it not only is it in here where we have the adult stuff, but it's also in the children's bulletin, so that the kids can also see that. On the front cover is one of my favorite saints that I didn't get to know until later on when I started serving more, St. Vincent de Paul. You'll find a lot of
he's French, right?
Yeah, he's French.
Oh, it's right here on the front cover. Look at that. It's like right in front of my face.
A French priest, and he helps the people that are poverty. So like you'll find a lot of food banks or places where they serve meals or something along those lines called the St. Vincent de Paul. So anyway, yeah.
Some of the stuff about the lives of the saints, it'll just blow your mind. Like this right here. St. Vincent was kidnapped by pirates. Like Jack Sparrow is getting up and stealing St. Vincent de Paul. Now that is a movie that I need to see. Jack Sparrow encountering St. Vincent de Paul. That would be so great.
We should talk to Disney.
We should really write a letter to Johnny Depp or something like that. Yeah. Awesome.
And then a little bit about the gospel, who is the greatest.
Yes.
And then while you're watching Mass, the start of Mass, how do they come down the aisle? Like who comes first that way and who is last?
Yes.
That's some things there. And then a fun fact, in ancient society, children were viewed as non-persons who had no legal rights or status of their own. To receive a little one is to accept lovingly, serve, and care for those who need it and cannot repay it. So We love our little people. We talk about them every week in church. So,
yes.
And then there's a nice little puzzle on the back and a prayer for the family to pray.
Yes.
So be sure to pick up a children's bulletin. They are becoming more and more popular.
They are. We might have to talk. I mean, in like 6 months, if this can do, we're gonna have to talk to diocesan because for real, like we keep getting. We're not gonna be able to afford to print them all. We had a cool moment the other day because I think it was last time we talked. It was the last time or the time before we talked about how my son, when no one's around, like if mass is happening or people are praying, like I won't let him run up on the altar. But when no one's around, he loves to run up and just look at the tabernacle. Like he's very reverent, but he loves it.
It's really interesting though. Sometimes he'll just stop. in front of it.
He's aware.
He's aware. And he'll just stop for a minute, and then he keeps going,
So it was beautiful. The other day was that we had a baptism, and Carl was with me still, and Carl ran up on the altar because I kind of lost him. He went up there, and then a bunch of the little kids immediately followed him up there, and the parents were losing their minds. They were panicking, and I walked up, and they looked at me and were like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And I was like, that's my son. Like, Carl's up there. And they were like, oh. And I'm like, it's fine. And so I got to walk up on the altar and be like, hey, guys, like, do you know? And I, explained the real presence. And I said, so remember, let's all go back down now, but let's bow. And we bowed, and Carl was like, bye. And I lost it. I was like, oh, my gosh. So it's like the kids, they get it. So if nothing else, we can learn from them. We can learn that, they realize what it is that you really can't, mess with them. Like they know something is here. So let's pray for that, so read the children's bulletin. Am I inspired to this? Also, this is the last thing, but it's a long thing. But no, we won't take too long.
We won't read it all. But so
Faith.
This is why you want to get signed up for Flock Note. Yes. If nothing else, you get a weekly newsletter called Sure Faith. As you know, Father Ross.
It is an email. It is not an actual letter.
Right. It's a newsletter via email.
This for us.
Yeah.
But yes, it's an email.
Right. So and it'll be written every week and sent out through Flock Note. Called Sure Faith.
Yep.
And Father Ross loves to talk about the peninsula because it's right there.
Well,
so hence the shore.
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure you could you probably couldn't hit a golf ball into Lake Erie, but you're pretty darn close.
Pretty close,
yeah,
right?
Honestly, but
that, or you know what I mean? It could be a play on
words,
like Sure
We could
Faith.
easily walk there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be us walking.
Shore Faith.
Sure.
But I like Shore Faith, so he said it. We were like, yep.
Yeah.
So he wrote this about it. He introduced himself and wanted to say that he's excited also to introduce this email newsletter. We are a vibrant and growing community rooted in faith, service, and the beauty of our surroundings near Presque Isle. Whether you join us for Mass, volunteer, or something, or simply want to stay connected, this newsletter will keep you informed on everything happening in our parish. And so he goes on to explain it a little bit more, and he wrote that great line, which I love in every email. I hope this message finds you well. It's like, yep, it did. Great. But no, it's all there. And so we have, things like it'll be answering questions like, what do we have going on? And then it asks us questions too, to respond to him, or for you to respond to us. What have you seen? What good have you seen lately? What blessings has God brought into your life? So we'll be asking you these kinds of questions. We'll have upcoming events. And so Father put a more detailed calendar in than what you'll find in the bulletin. So be sure to check that out. And then also, we don't usually say, follow us on Facebook and all that kind of stuff, but we have been upping our game with posting what has been going on,
after we switched to the new site. Yeah.
So now that we've switched to St. Jude Live, that's what it's called. It's still St. Jude the Apostle on Instagram, but on Facebook it's St. Jude Live. And so I just posted a little video showing fellowship yesterday.
With Levi.
Yeah, Levi's in there. Gotta love it. But we're going to have other stuff. We're going to start doing little man on the street videos within the parish, asking questions, hearing from you guys. So lots of opportunities, but that will be all on social media primarily. So be sure to follow us on there. I think that's about it.
I think that's it.
That's all. All right. So if you want more things. Like I said, follow us on social media. Come on into the office, have a conversation with us. If you need anything, we're here for you. We're happy to pray with you, talk with you, have a cup of coffee with you, get you masses, do whatever you need. We're here for you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Have a good one. Bye.